Friday, the 7th of March, I hurried home from work and decided I would pack up and go camping. The only trouble is, driving at night in Australia is quite treacherous with all the kangaroos around. Hi and welcome to No Second Season. I slept here last night. This is Woomargama National Park. I couldn't find my campsite. Because I come in a rush, I just typed it in Google and followed Google. The first road after an hour's driving wasn't even a road. It was a farm entrance and it said no access to Woomargama. So it rerouted me down a track called Yenches Road. Now I drove down that for around 15 to 20 kilometres on this gravel road here. But then it took me onto a narrower track, which turns out, I thought it was the Tin Mines track, the correct one. It got narrower and I thought this doesn't look right. It was dark, remember? And it turns out it's called the Cockatoo track. So I turned round, come back down Yenches Road and I stopped here for the night. Look how filthy Madge is, dusty. The air cleaner casing on Madge is split and it's getting dust in. So going on dusty roads until I can find a good second-hand one isn't a good idea. Yes, I've been in Aldi again. I bought a little bin. It just crumples up. It stays on there when the door shuts. So that's great. I think it was about $9. There's lots of cockatoos about. It's quite chilly. I might put my Aldi thermals on in a minute. But as soon as the sun gets up, it's going to be warm again. I think it's 30 again today. I have no phone signal. I wonder if the cyclone has hit Brisbane. So there's a Category 2 cyclone supposed to hit Brisbane in the early hours of this morning. And northern New South Wales. I wonder if it hit. I hope it's not too bad. This cup came from Hawker from when I went to the Flinders Ranges, so it's a nice little memory there. So good morning to you. I wonder what my day's going to bring. I'm really not sure what to do. It's just lovely being here. I've got an injury on my foot, on my left foot, in the arch. It runs from the heel right along the arch. I think it may be the common hiker's injury of plantar fasciitis. I don't know, but I'm thinking that's what it is, going by the old Google doctor. And I wouldn't be surprised because my left foot is left foot forward on my mountain bike, on my surfboard and my skateboard. And when I used to do boxing and martial arts, left foot forward on your toes. So I've got damage in my feet anyway. I think that's what it is. I've got some kinesiology tape on it. Feels all right this morning, actually. It hasn't been painful. I don't know if that tape works. It still hurt a little bit yesterday when I put it on, but I can't feel it now. So possibly it's done something. Possibly it's give it a chance to heal. So I won't be doing any hiking or surfing. Haven't brought my bike along. I might go for a little walk if I go anywhere today. down from that way. This is where I entered Woomargama National Park last night. And look at the beautiful view that was behind me. So let's go and find my campground. I think I've got quite a way to go. So I've now got a phone signal. So what Google Maps should have done, as I come along this road here, it should have just sent me down here, Tunnel Road, to my campsite. But it didn't. It sent me all the way around here. So what I'm going to do is ride the fire road another 10 kilometres to here, go back on the sealed road, and then get back on a fire road. And my campsite is here. So let's get to it. So last night along here, kangaroos galore. Couldn't get away from them. All down this road for around 10 kilometres. Luckily there were signs warning that the wildlife was active in this area and to slow down, and I did, and I'm glad I did. We've had an amazing summer this year, which I'm massively grateful for. It's been in the 30s for 3 to 4 months, but the downside is, look at the farmland. It's yellow and tinder dry. I was now on the right track, the tin mines track, which I needed to drive for 21 kilometres all the way to my campsite. I really enjoyed driving through the bleakness of the plantation, which would then become beautiful bushland, and then perhaps revert back to plantation. The contrast was great, but I enjoyed it all. The roads were in great condition. The only thing to be aware of is the very large gravel stones, which are quite angular and sharp. Wow, amazing view. We're looking north from here. Wagga Wagga, Canberra's that away. Excellent. What a treat. Beautiful. As for the tin mines track, yeah, pretty smooth, except for the sharp gravel. In the last, say, 5 kilometres, they've dug a lot of trenches for the water to run across, and they're quite steep up, steep down, so you need to go slowly over them if you care about your car, and perhaps at an angle to lessen the steepness. Personally, if I had ultra low profile tyres, I wouldn't come down here, whether 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. You know, something fancy like a Range Rover with ultra low profiles, I wouldn't come down here. As I wouldn't come down here in a low type saloon car. but that's your choice. Perhaps a bit further over to the west might be Dan Morgan's Lookout to get our bearings, and if we looked south going that way we'd see Mount Lawson, Mount Grania, other places I've been. I'm just going to take some photos and then we'll get to my campsite. So I am right here. So Google Maps sent me all this way, and then it sent me down this road, and that's where I slept last night. And then there was this Cockatoo Trail to here. But I don't know if the Cockatoo Trail, it was getting narrower and narrower, so I turned back. I've come all this way, all the way around. So what you want is Woomargama, Tunnel Road, picnic area, and then the Tin Mines Trail all the way. So not only did I buy a new little rubbish bin from Aldi, I bought a fire extinguisher. I've always wanted one. 16 bucks. If you've got kids that can read, most of them are pretty innocuous. I guess we were all young once, and that one's a bit slightly rude if your kids can read. Oh my God, there's a wasp's nest of baby wasps. Slightly worrying, those wasps. I don't know what sort they are. And there is something bitey here. And it draws blood, whatever it is. So I had a drop of blood on my big toe, wiped it away. There's a little hole and it's really itchy, but that's to be expected with the water nearby. There was some fairy wrens around. It's a shame because when you camp somewhere, once they realise you're staying, they go somewhere else, which is a shame. It's around 1 o'clock and I've nothing to do. And do you know what's really nice? Just chilling out in nature and knowing, well, unless I'm really stupid, which actually I can be, I shouldn't get hurt. So just sitting here, hopefully I'll be safe. Well, unless those wasps decide to swarm me. That would be my luck. I've been trying these Injinji socks, ones with the toes, separate toes in. I think they're an improvement for Morton's neuroma. Bit of pain in the arse to put on. These are my Topo Ultra Venturas. I think that's what they were called. There's no signage left on them at all. It's all disappeared. And I've had them 2 years. I've been using them for cycling, mountain biking, general use and hiking. They're pretty good, but they come up small. They're a little bit too small for me. If I get them again, I will go up a full size because they pinch my little toe when I'm bending my foot. So they're slightly undersized compared to an Ultra. And I do need some soon. These are pretty much worn out. They've got a tiny bit of tread left here. So these are the drop toilets. Now I'm just slightly worried. There's a wasp's nest in there. Doesn't seem to be, but I'm not shutting the door. Excuse me while I take a piddle. Okay, I'm finally ready. So this is north, east, south. The mountain I can see from here, I think, is Marmot, and west. I come from the west. I'm going to take a walk to the east. I think this is a creek, and I think it's Basin Creek. So that's really interesting that there is water here, and this creek, if it is Basin Creek, flows into Lake Hume, not too far away. Perhaps, I don't know, I'm guessing 20 kilometres away. So the injury on my left foot is actually fine until I started walking just now. If I scrunch my toes up in a ball, it stops hurting. So I'm going to scrunch my toes up in a ball. So my phone has virtually no map at all. I've brought it along. Why would I bring it along? Because you might get to a clearing and you've got a signal in an emergency. I've got my Garmin InReach with me. They're doing some revegetation work here. Good to see it's being looked after. There's this open area as though it had been farmed at one time, completely flat, devoid of vegetation except dead grass. So I'm leaving myself some markers in case I get lost, and also on all trails I'm tracking myself so I can just follow the way back. Temperature today I think is around the low 30s, and at times a lovely breeze. Here's a beautiful tall gum tree. So to my right is the Cockatoo Creek trail. It looks like I could have continued. I mean, you never know, but it looks like I could have done. I was going to go down the Cockatoo Creek track just to see if it is passable, and then I saw this tin mine track is part of the Hume and Hovell walking track. It feels good to have walked a little way on the Hume and Hovell as it did the Hyson Trail, in case I never get to do it properly. Human hovel were sent to find grazing land down south. And to mark that expedition is a 440-kilometre walk from Yass to Albury. And there's also an adaptation of it for cycling. I think it's hhride.net. If you want to cycle it, you can find the route. I have to say, I haven't seen a stick of wildlife, but it's at the hottest part of the day. It's around 3 o'clock. Why would they why would they be running around? It's only mad dogs and Englishmen that go out in the midday sun. And here it's hottest between, I think, 2 and 5 o'clock. So I may turn around and go back because there's nothing to see. Beautiful bushland, but no wildlife. So let's do a U-ey and walk back. There's been an incredible amount of work done on this track to keep it from bogging out, because there must be 100 of these drains that I've crossed. Some are full of the rocks, most aren't, but they've had to dig all the trenches to drain the water off the track and send it into the bush. I'm just going to turn off, heading south to look at these big granite boulders on this animal track. Bit of a scramble. I'll just follow it through here. There's been a fire here at some point, probably lightning. Okay, I thought there was a lookout, but not. I'll turn around and go back. A nice bit of shade just here. It is scorchio. But a little bit of shade under this beautiful tree. The sun not far from overhead still. Starting to go down the other side now. The bush is silent. No bird song. No wildlife cracking twigs. Just the wind rustling the trees. No vehicle entry. Does that mean we can walk in there? So I have the creek to my left. I need a nice cup of tea. My foot is the worst it's been. I shouldn't have done that. So that was just 3 kilometres, a gentle little walk. Oh, it's pulled the tape off too. So no more hiking this weekend. I can do a little walk, half a kilometre. That's what I'll limit myself to, because that's the worst it's been, and it was getting better, I think. But yeah, I like these in gingy style socks. This isn't my beer bottle litter I picked up, and I've got nowhere else to put it. It won't fit in there, and shut the door. Ooh. Worked up a bit of an appetite. These are Aldi mini wraps, wholemeal ones, probably full of E numbers, and this is from Woolworths or Coles, but not Aldi. So I've just put some more kinesiology tape on my sore foot. Now there's 4 things that I do when I get an injury. Number 1, get on YouTube. Sift through loads and loads of films to find the one that matches your injury exactly. Number 2, nerve flossing. It's excellent. If it's a nerve that's the problem, if you do nerve flossing, but you've got to find the right nerve and the right exercise, I would recommend Brian Abelson's channel. He usually hits the spot for me, and I fix a lot of my aches and pains using his techniques. The other one I use is kinesiology tape. Guess where I got this? Cheap. Aldi. And there are special techniques. You need to find the exact one that's appropriate to your injury and copy it from YouTube. And then the 4th thing is physio cream. So physio cream, sore muscles, even after exercise muscle ache, is just brilliant. It's natural ingredients. So what it's got in it is arnica, hypericum, calendula, menthol and melaleuca. Temporary relief of muscular aches and pains. So they're the 4 things I use. Thank you for joining me today. I hope there's something interesting in this video, and I notice that my surfing one, my last one, really wasn't popular at all. So possibly things that I just enjoy doing, I'm just showing you doing that you're not getting anything from. I just don't know where I'm going wrong. So if you've got any ideas for me, then perhaps you could pop it down in the comments. Anyway, I'm going to sit and read my auntie's book, page 30. I've been on it for about a week. Yes, I am that slow a reader. So the basic outline of this book is, in modern times, I don't know, a 20 or 30 something single lady who lives in a flat on her own, has a bit of spare money, so she goes to an auction and she buys an old writing box. And then that writing box kind of comes to life because she keeps finding letters in it written by Mr. Darcy back in the day. And the book flicks from modern to olden days, and it's really interesting. And Auntie Eureka is bloody clever. You know, she really is. So much effort has gone into this, especially doing the olden days writing, how they used to talk. She's done a fantastic job. So if you can pick up a copy, or you want something to read that is lots of pages and small writing, this is the book for you. The cockatoos are causing a ruckus. I don't know what's going on. There's probably some other birds invading their space. Around 6:30, the sun is going down over there, but I've been trying to get out of the sun into the shade, but obviously as it moves, and it moves very quickly, it's been really difficult. So I've moved to the left of where I was before, still on Basin Creek. This is another picnic table there. I thought there'd be loads of mozzies. They're not here yet, but when dusk falls they might be. But what are what they call marsh flies or march flies here, which are horse flies in the UK. I've got my swatter, but they just won't leave me alone. They're relentless. So I'm just going to have a bite to eat and a cup of tea before dusk, and hopefully the car will cool down a bit, and then I can get some sleep. I'm really tired. I did sleep last night, but I woke up about midnight and I couldn't go to sleep for a couple of hours. So I'm quite tired and I'm just trying to keep myself awake. So I'm just going to have a snackette. I don't really fancy eating. I never feel like eating much when I'm camping. And it won't do me any harm because I need to get rid of my blubber. So just a snackette, and then we'll go to bed. I thought there'd be a bit of wildlife about. I have trouble saying wildlife. I thought there'd be a bit of wildlife about. I thought there'd be a little bit of wildlife about. There's one or two cockatoos flying about. There's some crows and some magpies. I think the little ones must have gone to bed already. Guess whose chocolate this is? Aldi. You get 5 little bars in a big bar. It's quite expensive. It's like nearly $4. Well, that's expensive for me. But I do like them. We only live once. There is no second season. Fell over in the playground. So I've made a cup of tea to have during the night because I've just ate dark chocolate, so I probably won't be able to sleep. Never mind. It's Saturday night. We've got Sunday morning. So I don't know if there's no signal here at all, not on Telstra and not on Optus. Although I say that, my Optus may have run out of credit because I'm pay as you go. It could have run out of credit. There could be Optus. Morning. It's about 8:15. I've slept in. It's a bit chilly, so I've lit my stove. Time to start bringing the Cupid heater, I think. Right, let's get a coffee and get moving. These are the magnets I use. eBay. I think they might be on my website if you wanted some. So I woke up in the night. It was just before 2 o'clock, to some snarling and growling. And I don't know if you've ever heard a cat growl, a real deep guttural growl. And I looked out of my window and there was a possum. It was running around here, but it was growling, and it growled for ages and ages, like possibly an hour or so. It was growling on and off. I don't know if that's just the noise they make or whether they don't like humans around and they're just saying, go away. Yeah, so that woke me up and kept me up for a while because I wanted to try and see it. And I could see it out of my window, or I opened the door. But I've got nothing to film at night. I don't know how you do that. So he must live in one of the trees around here. Usually they live in hollowed out trees, and I haven't seen many. The birds are just beautiful here. I can't see them, I can just hear them. Or I can see them darting tree to tree. Look at these two gum trees. They've lost all their bark, so they're white. They look beautiful. And they're twins. Don't say I don't ever do anything for you. I clean my screen quite a lot, but sometimes it just gets dirty really quickly for when I'm filming out of my window. So sorry about that when it's dirty. So when it's a bit crisp, a little bit chilly, and then the sun hits you. It's just so beautiful and life-giving. Just standing here, savouring it. Marsh flies are about again. They are relentless. when they find you, they're not going to leave you alone until they've bitten you. And they actually bite. They've got mandibles. It's not a sting. They've got really sharp, like, teeth, and they bite a little chunk out of you. Then they suck the blood. And hence why people get such bad reactions to them. I don't know if you can hear it buzzing about me. And what they do is they land somewhere near, somewhere they think you don't know. For example, he's down there at the moment. He's going to land somewhere. I haven't seen any mosquitoes here, so that's good, because mosquitoes at the moment, there's 2 people in New South Wales that have died this year from Japanese encephalitis. It's a disease that the mosquitoes are carrying in the Murray region, in the Riverina. So you've got to be careful. Tin Mines camping area, Woomargama National Park. Why would you come here? Well, you'd come here if you were hiking the human hovel. You could stop off here. There's a water tank, there's a picnic shelter, and there's toilets. So that would be one reason to come here. Another would be for solitude again. I saw 2 off-road motorcyclists ride by, gave me a wave. And yesterday, late afternoon, I saw a whole family. It looked like grandparents, grandchildren and parents, all in a Ford Ranger. They were squashed in like sardines, and they drove through. I mean, bearing in mind this is a long drive, it's 20-odd kilometres, and then they couldn't have gone much further. Half an hour later they come back by again, and they're the only people I've seen. And you can't hear anyone, you can't hear dogs barking. I could hear some howling in the night. I'm not sure if that's a dingo or wild dogs or what, but some very distant howling. Sounded as that is over that way in the north. So that's what you come here for solitude, for bird watching. If you've got the patience, I'm sure if you sort of set up some sort of hide, you could film a beautiful array of birds, or even see them. I neither have the time nor the patience for that. I don't know if it's a total fire ban at the moment, and why I don't make it my business to find out is because I'm not going to be lighting a fire somewhere like this. The only time I'd be lighting a fire would be if it's quite wet. And at the moment, this part of Australia is tinder dry. So I'm not going to be lighting a fire, but there's lots of fire pits. Someone's kindly left a load of wood. Picnic tables. And lots of beautiful bush. So that's why you'd come here. So I walked through the bush, across the road. I've set up my camera over there, but I returned to pick up some litter. There's a cockatoo in the tree just over there, but it's hiding, as there was in the tree over there. But they make sure I can't see them. He's just moving to another tree now. So I spend a lot of my time when I'm at camp. I obviously don't film it, it's not very exciting, but I spend a lot of time trying to capture wildlife to no avail. I'm not very good at it, I have to accept that. I'm not good at spotting it, and I'm not good at getting to places where they'll be. but it doesn't matter. And I've learnt so much about birds since being in Australia. In the UK, I'd barely know any of the birds. A blackbird and a robin, perhaps, and that'll be it. But here, I've learnt loads of birds' names. It's nearly 10:30. Hopefully you've seen some of the beautiful drive. It looks absolutely stunning with the sun shining through the trees and all the trees having lost their bark. The silvery white shining, glimmering in the sun looks absolutely beautiful. Some wildlife as well, wallabies are around, lots of cockatoos. I've stopped here at North's Lookout. So as a reference, at Tin Mines campsite there is no mobile signal. When you get to 5 kilometres to the west, you get phone signal. Anyway, I digress. I've stopped at North's Lookout. I'm going to have some breakfast and a coffee. My foot hurts, so I'm just glad I've not got anything else to do that's going to hurt me, because when I go mountain biking, I'm always a little bit worried of what's going to happen. Am I going to have it over the bars? Going over the handlebars of a mountain bike when you're going downhill on rocks hurts a lot. Surfing, the last 2 times I've been hit around the back of the head, once with my fins. You know, so it's just a little bit worrying. Everything I do, skateboarding as well, you know, I haven't been for probably 6 months because of another injury I got hiking. Even sedate hiking I get injured, so it's just really nice to be chilled and being in this beautiful place, and again, not another person around. How lucky am I? Anyway, let's get some breakfast together. That's one of the flies. There's loads here. They're all around me. I just brushed it off me. I think I've dazed it. It's just laying on the ground there. So I bid farewell to North's Lookout. Definitely worth a visit. I absolutely love it here. Feels very serene. Beautiful spot. And I think they must have shaped this granite so it's safe to walk on, because it's very easily climbed. This really is my perfect day. Nowhere particular to be. Back at work tomorrow. But I have the whole of Sunday to do what I want. I'm not going to get hurt, I hope. I'm not going to get all hot and sweaty and tired. Well, unless I have a puncture. Fingers crossed I don't. Side of the Tin Mines track is this large granite, flattens out at the top and you get a beautiful view across to the Wagga area. And I'm really tempted to drive up on it. But things like that come across my mind, and when I was younger I would do it, but I'm not going to do it.
Through the plantation areas, you can get up a decent amount of speed, very fast flowing, rolling hills. And while I was driving, I was regretting not having tried the Cockatoo track to see if it's passable. I'm sure it is. So I did waste a lot of time last night. But no matter, at least I didn't get into any trouble.
So I measured the Tin Mines track to the Tin Mines campsite. It was 21.8 kilometres. So I'm actually at the start of the Tin Mines track from the Woomargama direction. It starts just over here, and this is the Tin Mines track that I've just come down. And on your left is this picnic area. There's a little loop, a little walk through the bush. It's not very long, 3 kilometres. I'm not going to do it because of my foot. I would like to. So this is the Woomargama Road. This is the Tin Mines track. We're here at the Tunnel Road picnic area. So just a little bit further back was the Samuel Bollard campground. Now I don't know if cars can get to that. It looks like you can. So if you didn't want to go as far as I went, you could go there. And then the Tin Mines one is right off up here somewhere. Anyway, I'm leaving Woomargama National Park now. I've had a great weekend. I've really enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you liked this video and I hope you enjoyed seeing some of Woomargama National Park here in New South Wales. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, it's a goodbye for now.